Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Malaska. He is one of the top 100 teachers in the country according to Golf Digest. And Mike, you have a YouTube channel as well, right?
Yes, it's just Mike Malaska.
Just YouTube search that, but even easier, it's right there in the description. Click it, subscribe to his channel, and you got lots of great content. Today we're talking a little bit about equipment and more specifically what's in Mike's bag. So let's go, what do you think is the most important club in the bag for you? The big dog. All right, let's check out the driver first.
Well, and the reason this is for me, not because it's the club I want to hit the furthest. This, in my mind, is a placement club. So when I hit it solid, fine. But if I miss it, can I control the misses and where it goes? Because this gets me started. So I'm not necessarily looking to this, say, well, I can hit this 5 yards further. I want a club that when I make a bad swing or mishit it, it's still in play.
How many, what's your swing speed at right now?
About 105.
Okay, so this is a Tailor Made M2, and your shaft is?
It's just an Ozic matrix.
Yep.
Stiff.
Yep.
I mean, nothing special. It's
and
just,
what's the weight?
It's I think it's a 60 gram.
And put your hand up like this, Mike. Mike has very big hands. If you can, I don't have small hands, but he can get this whole knuckle over the top of mine if we're going or apples to apples. So very big grips, huh?
Yeah.
So
Well,
what do you have for grip?
These are reverse taper,
Okay.
mid-size grips, and the reason I like reverse taper, I never understood.
So you're putting more wraps down here.
Yeah, these
than up
grips,
there?
these grips are actually made where the grip gets larger as the shaft gets smaller. So when I put this club in my hand, whether I put it this way or this way, each hand feels like it has the same. I've always done that my whole career.
More uniform.
I never understood feeling like this hand was like this and this one was really small. So I've always built the right hand up so it felt consistent throughout the club.
What's the name of that grip?
It's Golf Pride.
Golf Pride, but it's a special.
It's the CP2 Pro. Mid-size.
CP2 Pro. Very cool. Check out. There'll be links for all this stuff below. All right, let's move on. So let's just work. Let's work down the bag now. So 3-wood.
Okay, so 3-wood. Through my career, the 3-wood was called the Devil Club.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
All right. Well, when you find a good 3-wood that you hit well, you know, keep it.
Yep.
Just because technology jumps up and says it's better.
Yeah.
And this M2 3-wood, for me, it's like magic. For whatever reason, it fits. It's easy to get it in the air. It spins the ball decent. I mean, so for me, it's going to be hard for him to get this club out of my hands.
When we played that par 5, was that a 3-wood?
This one.
So really cool slow motion of that swing. Was that a good shot or a bad shot?
It was.
That was about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very good.
So 3-woods, the technology with the slots in them and the faces that are more forgiving, lower center of gravity. But I can tell you, if and when you find a 3-wood that you like, unless something is significantly better when you try it, don't change, because they're hard to find good ones that fit you. But this M2 has just been phenomenal. I mean, the first time I hit it, I'm going, the same with that driver. I knew immediately that I had something in my hand that was really good when I hit it well, but when I missed it, and I'm always looking for clubs that help me with my misses.
Right, because good is good.
It's going to be good. When I hit it good, it doesn't matter what club I have.
Yeah.
When I miss it, what does the miss do?
Yep.
So I fit clubs more for me when I'm doing it relative to a missed swing than a hit swing.
With 3-wood, are you trying to have a heavier and stiffer shaft, or?
No, I'm pretty much the same with my shafts and stiffness and flex points throughout the deal. Okay, so this is a matrix also, 70 grams.
70 grams as flex.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
So they're all pretty much the same. Hybrids, you know.
When did you start using a hybrid?
I was real reluctant to do it.
Okay, to switch it to it. Yeah.
And the reason, I was always good with the 2-iron, 1-iron, and the deal with the 2-iron and 1-iron, I had more control of the ball. I didn't have any trouble hitting them solid, and if I wanted to hook or fade it or knock it down, it was easier to do than the hybrids. Yeah. And the original hybrids had a tendency to hook the ball, which I hated. Now these new ones, there is none of that. Plus they're adjustable, and this club, off certain types of lies, to get this club in the air, this is a 3 hybrid, 19 degree. To get this up in the air and have it land soft, the degree of difficulty as opposed to a 2-iron is significantly less. I really don't know why anybody who's probably a 5 handicap or above would have a 2 or a 3-iron. Yeah. Because the benefit of having it, they're not good enough to take advantage of the benefit.
Anyway, yeah.
And so this hits it in the air really easy, hit a lot of lies, and so I've kind of replaced even to this day now, I use this instead of the 2-iron.
Okay, cool. And then, so your irons we'll do as a group here.
Yeah, they're all.
Are these from this year?
This is the new. This is this year's the
Okay.
PSI Tour model. They're forged.
Yeah, pretty cool how these have this rubber cavity piece here.
Yeah, they have it.
And
a lot
these
of
don't. Yeah.
the short irons don't.
Yeah.
When you get to the 5-iron, and well, I think it's the 6-iron. The 6-iron is where the transition happens, because
Yep.
that transition both in this part of the club, in the bottom,
Yep.
and in the face. On this club, it's a lot more cosmetic than it actually is feel,
Okay.
or that it actually helps you.
Yeah.
But there is a little help with it.
Okay.
The bigger the clubs get, when you get up into the
There's some here on the face as well.
yeah, they're on the face. They
Yeah.
are in the M1 and the M2, the bigger clubs too, the more game improvement clubs. But these slots have a lot more impact on the face
Flex and release.
and giving you forgiveness. I've always liked forged clubs. I like the way they feel. I like the control of them. So
Cool.
these are as good as they get. And I noticed,
Are these DG 300s?
these are Dynamic Gold S300s.
Yep. Okay.
I've played Dynamic Gold shafts my entire career.
Okay.
Now I've tried everything
Well,
else,
that's
and then
right.
everything has its changes of feel and different properties that can help. And a lot of it's up to you.
Yep.
You know what you like the feel of. I've never found anything that I like the feel of more than this, and feel's a big part of my game.
Yeah.
So I've tried the other shafts. There's a lot of graphites, the recoil shaft, and that I've played for a while, and it's really good.
Yeah.
But
You were saying before I interrupted you said you noticed.
yeah, I noticed. If you order these clubs, you have to order the ones that are trained. So you can order trained clubs. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Like a trained dog or something?
Yeah. So you just
Okay.
aim it and they swing themselves.
Yeah,
Didn't you
you
know
do.
that?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, you're ordering the wrong clubs.
Can you also get balls that listen to your request?
Okay.
Okay. So
Wedges.
now wedges. Yeah.
Wedges, for me, I have a pitching wedge that's about 50 degrees, and then 54 and 58.
Now, did you bend this
Yes.
weaker?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I like 4 degrees between each one.
Gapping. Yeah.
That's my gapping that I've always played with. I don't use a 60.
But your bounce here,
Does a
and
lot.
especially with this cave-in part,
Yeah.
this grind, you can lay it open and turn it into whatever you want. Huh?
Well, the bounce on this is pretty high in the
Yeah.
center. It's like 12 or 14 degrees, which I like a lot of bounce in the center.
Yeah.
And then if you see the heel and the toe, this is called a C grind.
Yeah.
So I can open the face or open the toe up and set the club down, and the leading edge doesn't lift because the bounce is taken off the heel and the toe.
You don't have to be scared of blading it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, or it getting caught.
Okay.
It's sticking.
Snagged, yeah.
So most all the tour players in their highest lofted club will have a lot of bounce in it, unless you're playing on just rock hard fairways and bunkers.
Right.
Okay, and the thing about bounce, to be able to hit these clubs well and use the bounce, whatever amount of bounce is in the club. So this one has 14 degrees. So for the bounce to work, if my angle of approach is 14 degrees or less, the club's going to hit and the bounce is going to hit.
Yep.
If my angle of approach is 15 degrees or 16 degrees, all of a sudden the leading edge is going to hit, so it digs.
So you hear pros talk about activating the bounce when you're chipping.
Right. So if you get a club that has very little bounce and you want to use it,
You don't have to be so shallow to be able to use it.
Yeah, it starts to get real dicey.
But I know a lot of amateurs are nervous to get a club with a lot of bounce because they don't want to see those thin screamers off the bat.
Well,
Yeah.
well then this club, see, I can open the face if you want to do that, and because the bounce is all taken off here, as I open the face, see that it doesn't
getting
lift the
higher,
leading
yeah.
edge. See, if they just have bounce consistent, and I open the face, what happens is the leading edge lifts. So now I'm going to tend to hit the ball. This one, when I open the face, or I get up on the toe and open the face, it doesn't lift the leading edge.
Yep.
So
awesome.
that's why most of the tour players have these types of grinds, because it gives them more variety to hit different types of shots and use the face different and still use the bounce.
Okay, let's do the money
putter.
club, right?
Well, okay. This spider, this is the one that Jason Day uses, and it's the red one. Color is color. Some people like red, some like black. The technology in these putters now, the faces are so good
Yeah.
that, again, slight miss hits, the ball still goes the same distance.
Yeah.
They're very stable. Excuse me. They're very stable, It's easy for me to line up.
Yep.
Do I putt better with this than I did the bullseye I putted with back in the 60s and 70s? Maybe a little on a miss hit.
Right.
For the average player, this type of putter with this much forgiveness, what it's going to do is it's going to help your speed control.
Okay, yeah.
So if you miss it a little bit, the ball's still going to go the same distance. That's what I noticed with this.
When did you change to a more mallet style? Was that difficult for you? Because for me, it's very hard to look at a mallet style.
Me too.
Yeah.
Visually, I still can't say I'm extremely comfortable with it, but the ball keeps going in the hole, so that comfort gets there
right.
real quick. The
Yeah.
ball goes in.
You got a fly problem.
Yeah, he's chasing me.
Yeah. Cool. And then you do have this very
Now-
in vogue. It's kind of for a
Now-
tall guy. It's a short putter.
Well, here's the part I've never understood with putting. They're going to allow you to put a flat spot on a putter.
Yeah.
Why would you put it on the top where your thumb? I said, well, that's where your thumbs are. Like, well, you can't feel with your thumbs. So my entire career.
So let me grab just a normal putter grip, which is mine.
Right.
That is, you know, this Pingman one that
Okay.
Tiger and a lot of people made famous. So they have a flat spot here.
So if you look at these, okay, they both have flat spots on the top, but the side of this putter, and this is kind of flat, but it's rounded.
Yeah.
So here's my deal with putting. My hands control the face and everything.
Yep.
So with this flat spot right here on the back of the putter, I've always had it on the back or the front. Now this one I have it on both sides because this is a square putter grip. So now when I put my hand on there, that's the face. So I don't even have to look down at that club face. I can aim the face because the face is in my hand. As soon as you give me a rounded grip, I have to look at the face to aim it because I can't feel where it's aimed.
Yes. And
So-
you did some kind of Frankenstein here
Well,
thing where you.
it's because when I set up,
Yeah.
my hands are fairly big, and I've always put this finger, for a lot of reasons, down.
Yeah.
And so I had to extend the shaft because I hated this feeling where my finger was off the grip.
Yeah. Right.
So all I did is I took two grips, and then I put my right hand on here. That's the club face. And if I, for a long time, I putted predominantly with my left hand. So here was the flat spot, so my left hand could feel the face. So I could take a hold of a putter and not even look at the face and set it down and aim it and look at the hole. And I can aim the face because I can feel where the face is aimed.
Yeah.
I can't feel where this one is aimed. I have to look at that face to aim.
Gentlemen, have a great afternoon.
See ya.
So for me, this flat side, whichever hand you're putting dominantly with, right or left,
Yep.
the flat side needs to be on the side of the putter, which is your dominant hand.
Yep.
Because then you don't even have to look at the face. You can just feel the face in your hands, and you can feel where you're directing, because this is the face.
Yep.
It's just always made sense to me. And now there's a number of companies that are building grips that are flat on both sides, which
Yeah,
is interesting
I
because
know.
they
It's
fought me
like
forever, and
it's
now
like
they're
a
building.
ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that actually makes sense. Why does a tennis racket have a flat side on it?
Yeah.
Well, because when you're swinging a tennis racket, you can't look at the racket to aim it. You have to feel the racket face in your hand.
Boom. Yeah.
Ping pong paddle,
Yep.
flat side on it.
Yeah.
So all those sports have a flat side on it when you have a flat face.
It's too bad it's illegal for these grips to have a
Flat side,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, well.
that's what it is.
It is what it is. When we're talking about on the course and here with your equipment, the concept of feel comes up a lot with
Yeah.
you. And some players are very nervous. I don't want feel. I want something more legitimate, something more measurable. But feel is such a crucial part to golf that you shouldn't try to shy away from it. Huh?
Well, feel and sound are a big part of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, what does it feel like when it comes off to the face? What does it feel like when I'm set up correctly? What is, so feel has to be, you have to create a motion the numbers that create a feel, or feel that creates the numbers. I mean, I'm not going to argue with the numbers, TrackMan and all this stuff.
Right.
Okay, but you have to be able to sense and feel what makes those numbers happen.
Yeah.
So anybody who's really good at anything is very sensitive to the product or to the instrument they're using. So really good players, I mean, Nicklaus and all these guys, Tiger, phenomenal hands, very sensitive to what they're doing with that club face. Because the club face is really their hand. It's just extended down there with the shaft.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't discount science, and I certainly don't discount feel. Because when you're doing anything in sports, when you start to perform, what you're doing is it's an artistic expression of you through a game.
Yep.
It is not a science. Science is the study of what's happening. Is
Yeah.
it valuable? You bet it's valuable. But is it necessarily the way to do it? when it comes to performance, I would question the scientific approach to giving you performance under pressure.
Yeah, more a feel-based approach.
Yeah.
Kind of like we were talking about in the course, very important to get your feel, keep that feel there, but nothing, no exact words to it.
No, because if you get into exact words and you're not into an overall feel, and all of a sudden you're trying to be exact and you start the club back and it's not exactly where you want it, you panic. If you're into an overall feel and you can sense the face through the ball and you're thinking about the motion through the ball, even if you make a bad swing, you've got a good chance of hitting a good shot because you're committed to the motion through the ball and what's going to make the ball go at the target. So you make a lot of swings that aren't necessarily your best swings, but you hit good shots.
Yeah.
And you don't panic. So you got to get in a position where while you're swinging, you do everything you can do mentally to make your swing with the most amount of confidence and the most amount of feel with no anxiety relative to outcome. That's why I said you can be happy. Any shot or any situation in life can make you happy, sad, or neutral. Neutral is a good place to be in when it comes to performance because you're learning from it.
Yeah.
If you're happy or sad because of it, then when you try to go out, when you're going to hit a shot, your brain's going, if I hit a good one, I'm going to be happy, and if I hit a bad one, I'm sad. Okay, well, that creates anxiety.
Yeah, you got to replace that.
If you're just going to hit a shot and you're neutral, you hit more good shots because there's no anxiety because it may not work.
Yeah.
So, you know, how you talk to yourself and the way you perceive situations and the way you react to them ends up becoming a bigger deal and becoming a player than what your swing looks like.
Okay, guys, you guys can learn more about Mike at his YouTube page. Even better probably is to go to malaskagolf.com, right?
Correct.
Malaskagolf.com. There's a really cool membership site coming up. It's probably out already by the time you guys see this thing. More info about it there. All right, subscribe to this channel as well. Later. Bye. Cool.